Several days ago, I was listening to a DVD on one of the anniversary celebrations of Les Mis. And maybe it was because it's Lent, or maybe because it's this particular Lent, one song that I've probably heard time and time again that I never really thought about suddenly struck me almost to the core. And it's early in the play when Jaffer, the policeman who is out to make sure Jean Valjean returns to prison, basically sings his own anthem. I think the song's called Stars. But at one point in that song, he sings, "And so it is written on the gateway to paradise, that those who falter and those who fall must pay the price." They must pay the price. For 3 weeks now, we have been getting contrasting ideas of what it means to be a Christian, contrasting ideas of what it means to be one who is dedicated to morality. And it's really dangerous to have a moral theologian look at these texts, because you're going to be here until 9 o'clock when we have our next Mass. But if you take a look at each of the past 3 weeks, we have people who are filled with moral indignation and people who are filled with pity. Not with pity, with mercy. You all remember 2 weeks ago we had the fig tree. And the owner, it has not produced what it's supposed to do, cut it down, get rid of it, throw it into the flames. But the hired hand, "Sir, give me one more year. Let me fertilize it, let me water it, and then we'll see what happens." Last week, the prodigal son, one of the most beautiful parables in all of Scriptures. The brother, "This son of yours is now returned after dissipating your money on prostitutes, and you let him come back?" And the father, "This brother of yours was once lost, now he's found. Was once far away, now he is back. We have to celebrate." And today, the woman, notice only the woman caught in adultery, which is always very interesting, isn't it? I always thought it took two. But the woman caught in adultery. The law of Moses says we must stone such a person. What do you say? Let the one who is without sin cast the first stone. Does no one condemn you? Then neither shall I condemn you. Go and sin no more. Moral indignation, righteousness, the mercy of God. I would like to suggest it is so easy to be that first sort of moral person. And I tend to think there's a place for it, but it cannot be the dominant emotion of somebody who calls herself or himself Christian. Moral indignation separates us from the other. Moral indignation places us above the other. Moral indignation becomes so satisfied with our own righteousness that we no longer have a heart that really appreciates what the other is going through. What the Gospels seem to tell us time and time again is that mercy is the important virtue. Mercy is the important moral emotion that we need to have. It is mercy that allows us to see the other as equal. It is mercy that allows us to stand in solidarity with the other. It is mercy that changes our hearts. The very Latin word that our word mercy comes from is misericordia, which literally translated means having a heart. to those in misery. And it's that mercy that we celebrate, especially during this Lent. And I don't think it's an accident that Pope Francis has chosen this year to be the year of mercy as we hear these Lenten Gospels. Interestingly, today is the very anniversary. 3 years ago today, the white smoke appeared, and we saw somebody very different from previous popes standing on the balcony of St. Peter's. His own motto, which he kept from his time as Archbishop of Buenos Aires, is, "In mercy, God chose me." Mercy is an awful lot more difficult to practice than indignation. Indignation just sort of wells up immediately. Mercy needs to be practiced, because we keep feeling that somehow there is some limit to just how merciful we can be. 800 years before Pope Francis, another Francis, whom I'm particularly close to, St. Francis of Assisi, in fact, wrote to his followers how he understood mercy. And he said to his followers, if anyone comes to you asking mercy, give it to them. And if somebody doesn't ask them if they want mercy. And if they come to you 100 times, love them more than you love me, and show them mercy that you might bring them back to the Lord. Moral indignation feels good. Moral indignation places us in a nice, comfortable place. Mercy challenges us, because there is never a time when we can say we have done enough. And the only way we can appreciate that is realizing that we ourselves are in need of mercy. Listen to what St. Paul said in today's second reading. I have no righteousness of my own. The only righteousness I have is that which comes from Christ. And it's only if we can first experience that attitude that we are in it together, that we are all sinners, that we are all in need of God's mercy, that we can share that mercy with one another. And so it's simple to say, but hard to put into practice. Jaffer got it wrong. On the gateway to paradise is written not what he thought. On the gateway to paradise is written, it is mercy I desire, and not sacrifice. On the gateway to paradise is written, Jesus Christ has already paid the price. We and nobody else needs to do it again. On the gateway to paradise is written, be merciful as your heavenly Father is merciful. That is the journey we engage in this Lent. That is the journey we engage in this holy year of mercy. I hope that's the journey we engage in each and every day of our lives.